I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. And Caitlin Clark is bringing this money into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive.
What are you talking about, woman? She's smart, she's pretty, she a baller, she's got a sex appeal, and she ain't ghetto. The reason why some of these people are not marketable because they super butchy and ghetto. What they gonna market you? Makeup? You look like a dude. If women were so bent out of shape that women's basketball, half of the population is women, why don't y'all support women's basketball? Where y'all at in the stadium seats? Where y'all at buying the jerseys? Go to any WNBA game. Why is it not full of women?
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark today, she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down. It is what it is. She's not the first. She won't be the last. My issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is the team. She's the star. You always protect your star. I was someone who protected the stars. You fuck with Kobe, CP, Blake, list goes on. It's going to be a problem because you guys are supposed to be a family. And you wonder why you sit at the bottom of the league right now is because y'all don't protect each other, man. Coach don't do shit about it. Players don't do shit about it. Y'all should be ashamed of it. But the rest of the league is going to continue to test her. And that's what they're supposed to do. It's your guys' fucking job to have her back and have each other's back. Got to do better, ladies.
But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership.
It's just hatred towards this young lady. Only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it. And the media has put her on this pedestal. Yeah. Like when she got knocked down, did you see the young lady come? She didn't run to her rescue. She walked over there and tried to pick her up instead of going after Kennedy. You don't mess with her. You know, you got to protect your superstar, your teammate, and protect your teammate. And none of them ladies have protected her. Yeah. I don't think on her own team, and I think she's unfairly getting stuff that's done to her, and it's just bad and insensitive to me.
Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. What that means is without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where Caitlin Clark has gotten them today.
Records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. Okay. Right? If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
There's been a lot of hate for Caitlin Clark out there.
I think just the biggest thing is, you know, it's really, really special, and I don't think it's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids.
What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
I think Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league and dominate the way people think she will, because there are very few roster spots. Like, it's a real job. So people look at new players coming in and they look at that and say, oh, you trying to come take my job. Like, no, it's not gonna be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game. I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
When she comes to the league, probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game. I do think those two players not only will get there, well, they will be hell of a WNBA players. They will get there. But more than that, their popularity will absolutely be good for the league and bring in fans that the league hasn't had before.
For a long time now, a lot of people have always overlooked women's basketball. The game seemed to lack the athleticism and excitement of their male counterparts. However, Caitlin Clark recently changed the narrative. Earlier this year, she hit a game-winning, buzzer-beating, deep three-point shot that everyone couldn't stop talking about. This wasn't a vintage 1950s push shot, but a perfectly executed jump shot from nearly 30 feet out, reminiscent of the current men's game. Her incredible performance and the hype around her are real, as shown by record-breaking viewership numbers. But despite all these positives about her, she's still hated with an alarming height of hatred and being bullied every game day by the WNBA. Why? It's ridiculous to even think about it, but we've uncovered the real reason why the WNBA is bullying Caitlin Clark. Watch till the end and trust me, you will feel nothing but anger and rage towards the WNBA. Caitlin's WNBA entry. Caitlin Clark's journey to the WNBA has been nothing short of spectacular. From her early days on the court, she displayed a talent and drive that set her apart. Growing up in Iowa, Caitlin was a standout player in high school, catching the eye of college scouts and basketball enthusiasts alike. Her skills, combined with an incredible work ethic, earned her a spot at the University of Iowa, where she quickly made a name for herself. At Iowa, Caitlin's prowess on the court was undeniable. She consistently put up impressive numbers, breaking records and leading her team to significant victories. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, coupled with her sharp basketball IQ, made her a formidable opponent. She wasn't just a scorer. Her vision and passing ability allowed her to set up her teammates for success, making her a true leader on the floor. Caitlin's success at the college level naturally led to speculation about her future in the WNBA. Everyone was eager to see how her game would translate to the professional level. When the WNBA draft finally arrived, it was no surprise that Caitlin was a top pick. Joining the WNBA was a dream come true for Caitlin, but it soon became the nightmare no one would even wish on an enemy. Caitlin's rookie season in the WNBA has been quite impressive. She quickly found her rhythm, showcasing the skills that made her a star in college. Her scoring ability remained a highlight as she continued to find ways to put points on the board, even against some of the league's toughest defenders. Her passing and playmaking skills also translated well, allowing her to make significant contributions to her team's success. Off the court, Caitlin has embraced her role as a professional athlete, engaging with fans and using her platform to inspire the next generation of basketball players. But despite how good a person and player she is, the WNBA seems not to like her, and the reason is one of the most petty and shocking things you might have ever heard in your life. Let's take a look. Caitlin Clark being bullied in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, a college basketball superstar often compared to the legendary Pistol Pete, is facing significant challenges as she transitions to the WNBA. But what do we expect? It's the WNBA after all. The basketball most of us grew up with and learned from our coaches no longer exists in the professional leagues. The game has changed fundamentally in the NBA and WNBA. Clark was drafted first overall by the WNBA and immediately faced a tough schedule, playing significant minutes for the league's worst team. Even before her debut, she faced hostility. In one game, Chicago Sky guard Chennedy Carter blindsided Clark on an inbound play, an act more akin to roller derby. Carter was celebrated by her teammates, and her coach downplayed the incident. Carter herself was unapologetic. "I'm a competitor. It's basketball. It's all hoops. After we finish the game, it's all love." Charles Barkley, NBA commentator and Hall of Fame player, criticized this behavior. "Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all effing private charters. All the money and visibility she's bringing to the WNBA? Don't be petty." Later, he added, "Instead of talking about all the good things happening in the WNBA, we're talking about negativity. There used to be the old saying, all publicity is good publicity. No, it's not. Not when you're a niche sport trying to get the consumers to buy into your product." The question then arises, why would some WNBA players be hostile toward a player who brings a massive fan base to the league? Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, offers one explanation. The average WNBA player does not like Caitlin Clark because she is white, because she is straight, and because now she is rich and getting a lot of attention. And there is a great deal of resentment about that. Clark is the reason many watched more women's basketball last year than ever before. However, she won't be the reason we start watching WNBA games. The WNBA is different. It's more physical. focuses on individual performances and is driven by financial motives rather than the pure love of the game. While NBA and WNBA games can be entertaining, certain practices detract from the essence of basketball. When a player stops dribbling at half court on their way to a dunk without being called for traveling, it's not basketball. When a player carries the ball without being penalized, it's not basketball. When a defender can practically assault an offensive player without a foul being called, it's not basketball. Caitlin Clark has been enduring both physical and mental abuse since her pro career started. Many of the hits, shoves, and elbows she receives aren't part of the game. They're just there. Why? Maybe it's jealousy. Clark is getting almost all the publicity. Fans adore her and flock to see her play, even at away games. She's drawing crowds and revenue for the league. In contrast, many of the players targeting her were previously among the best in the league, but are now overshadowed. Perhaps it's because Clark secures the most lucrative endorsements. Nothing stings more than seeing someone else get the money you believe you deserve. Additionally, many WNBA players who are black see a double standard in media coverage and player popularity. They believe that if Caitlin Clark were black, her fame and attention wouldn't reach the same level. Fear might also be a factor. Clark is heralded as potentially the greatest female basketball player ever. Other players fear being replaced, knowing Clark could surpass them in popularity, earnings, and legacy. They worry that after their careers are over, Clark will be the one remembered, not them. There are numerous reasons for Caitlin Clark's treatment in the WNBA. It might even be a deliberate strategy, as controversy often drives interest. Well, I can also say that at the heart of this issue is egalitarianism, the belief that all people are equal and any differences in outcomes are unjust and should be rectified by the state. Swoopes calls Caitlin Clark a bully. The narrative that WNBA veterans envy rookie sensation Caitlin Clark has been greatly exaggerated. However, there is one retired WNBA icon whose disdain for the Indiana Fever star is very real: Sheryl Swoopes. Swoopes recently demonstrated her animosity with her latest claim about Clark and her rivalry with Angel Reese. The fallout from the Indiana Fever's 91-83 win over the Chicago Sky was the hot topic on Gilbert Arenas' Gil's Arena show last month. During the game, Reese committed a flagrant foul on Clark, hitting her in the head. Both players dismissed it as a basketball play, but Arenas' comments on the show sparked controversy. With Angel, she's rugged. She's a rugged girl. She's built for trying to bully, Arenas said. No one feels sorry for the bully. Swoopes, in response, claimed Clark is more of a bully than Reese on the court and felt no sympathy for the #1 draft pick. Regarding Reese's foul and the subsequent coverage, she said, "We can't make it seem like she was assaulted." Swoopes also stated that she does not consider Reese a bully at all. Sheryl Swoopes, a 3-time WNBA MVP and 4-time WNBA champion, has a history of animosity towards Caitlin Clark. She previously challenged the validity of Clark's NCAA scoring record set last season with Iowa. Ironically, it was Reese who played intermediary to squash that beef. Despite this, Swoopes continued to question Clark's abilities as she entered the WNBA. Before the draft, she stated on Gil's Arena that Clark would absolutely not maintain her elite production in the pros. Clark's boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey, even had to defend her on social media against the hate. When the #1 pick scored 21 points in her preseason debut, Swoopes gave a tense interview with Clark on TV after the game, repeatedly reminding her that she lost. Swoopes' well-documented stance on Caitlin Clark seems increasingly unfounded as the rookie continues to improve. How can WNBA teams stop Caitlin Clark? One controversial move that many elite scorers like Caitlin use is the push-off, which requires referees to make subjective judgments on whether there was enough force for it to be an offensive foul. Early in her career, the NCAA's all-time leading scorer has proven to be a challenge for WNBA defenders, push-off or not. Clark earned a spot on the WNBA All-Star team by averaging 16.1 points, 7.4 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. The Washington Mystics and other teams have realized that one effective strategy to stop Clark is to draw fouls on her. Whether the referees buy it or not, This tactic is clearly getting into the young superstar's head. Imagine what level of wickedness this is. What can you say about this horrendous act by WNBA players on Caitlin Clark, and how the organization as a whole has chosen to overlook it and allow it to continue? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section below.